There are nights when destiny breathes so close to your skin that even silence feels like a warning. And Taurus, this is one of those nights. Have you sensed a shift walking behind you like a shadow? Have your dreams become louder than your thoughts? Have you felt as if something ancient is about to reopen a chapter you forgot you ever lived? Because in December 2025, a portal of frequency rises around you. A coded vibration Nostradamus once whispered about, a pulse strong enough to awaken a truth your soul buried 20 years ago. And before this month ends, Taurus, the revelation you avoided, feared, or weren't ready to hold will find you. The question is, will you recognize it when it arrives? Taurus, something inside you has been stirring with a quiet, steady rhythm, like a heartbeat returning after years of absence. You may not name it yet, you may not fully understand it, but your soul does. It remembers what your mind forgot. It remembers the moment your destiny was interrupted, the place where your courage paused, the truth you tucked away just to survive. For 13 years, your path has been shaped by pain that made you strong but heavy. For 20 years, a deeper power, your own, has been dormant, waiting for the exact cosmic frequency that is finally present this month. December 2025 is not just another page on the calendar. It is a cosmic intersection, a spiritual alignment where Uranus retrograde in Taurus shakes the very soil under your feet, not to unroot you, but to expose what grew beneath the ground while you weren't looking. Something is rising from an old layer of your story, something left unfinished, unspoken, unresolved, and the universe is whispering, it is time to remember. But remembering is not gentle, it is not soft. It arrives like truth does, with a vibration that makes your bones tremble before your thoughts catch up. Signs that the awakening has already begun. Why do you think your chest has been heavier in the mornings? Why do familiar places feel different, as if the air changed shape? Why have names from your past surfaced in dreams, in conversations, or in sudden flashes of intuition? These are not accidents. These are activations. The universe is tapping the exact memories, emotions, and inner voices that must come alive again for you to reclaim your original power, the one you lost, or silenced, or traded for peace that wasn't real. For 20 years, there has been a truth sleeping under your ribs, a truth you protected, a truth you feared, a truth you compensated for through effort, loyalty, silence, and strength. But the sleeping truth has woken up, and in the waking, you are beginning to feel strange, charged, restless, as if something is pulling you inward and forward at the same time. This is the vibration of returning power, the frequency that returns when a cycle ends. This month, Taurus, you stand in the center of two cosmic currents. Uranus retrograde, forcing you to confront what was abandoned. Jupiter, expanding every truth you avoided. Venus, sharpening the mirror you've refused to look into. And the December solstice portal, opening the door between who you were and who you are becoming. This combination has not touched your sign in 2 decades. Its energy digs where you buried parts of yourself. The part that stopped trusting, the part that dimmed its own voice, the part that once dared to dream without fear. You may feel emotional without reason. You may remember events you thought healed. You may question relationships you once accepted as just the way things are. Because the universe is unfreezing a piece of your timeline, something that should have empowered you 20 years ago, but was lost in the noise of survival. Now the question rises, are you ready to face the truth that once frightened you? The mystery you feel but cannot name. There is a moment in every Taurus life when strength stops being a shield and becomes a doorway. You are at that doorway now. Behind it lies a memory, a voice, an unfinished message, or an opportunity that should have been yours long ago. Something is returning, not to repeat the past, but to correct it. That's why December feels heavier, why your senses are sharper, why your intuition is no longer whispering, it is pushing, Because the truth that slept for 20 years does not rise quietly, it rises like an earthquake of clarity. And Taurus, you are beginning to feel the first tremors, calling you back to who you were meant to become. Ask yourself, why now? Why this month? Why this sensation that someone, somewhere is remembering you? Because the cycle of pain, the 13-year season of carrying more than you should, is ending, and the 2-decade season of forgotten power is reactivating. You are not the same Taurus who began this journey. You have scars that turned into symbols. You have sorrows that became codes. You have endings that shaped your endurance. And now, the universe says, rise. Rise into the truth you buried. Rise into the strength you silenced. Rise into the identity that was stolen, abandoned, or postponed. Your activation has begun. But the next step, the step only you can take, requires your voice. Taurus, if this message touched something ancient inside you, anchor this activation by writing in the comments, "I awaken the truth that returns to me now." Feel the weight of it. Write it as a soul declaration. Let the universe hear you claim what was always yours. And if this message resonated, leave your hype on this video. Like, comment, share, and if your heart feels called, become a member of the channel. Each hype you send strengthens this energy, helps this space grow, and carries this light to other Taurus souls who need this awakening. Taurus. If part 1 opened the door, part 2 brings you into the corridor where the air itself feels charged with meaning. Something within you is shifting, but something around you is shifting too, and now you're beginning to notice. Have you wondered why people look at you longer than usual? Why conversations take strange turns as if someone knows more than they're saying? Why familiar places feel like they're echoing with something left behind? These aren't coincidences, they're synchronicities moving in formation. December 2025 is a month where the invisible becomes tangible for you, where the unspoken becomes loud, where memories you never meant to revisit rise like smoke from a fire you thought was extinguished. But why now? Why is your soul reopening a chapter sealed 2 decades ago? Because the universe doesn't return old truths unless they are ready to be lived correctly. And Taurus, you are finally standing in the frequency that matches the destiny you abandoned, or were forced to abandon, 20 years ago. The return of a moment you didn't know was unfinished. There is a strange sensation following you lately, a tug, a pull, a magnetic pressure. Perhaps you felt it in your chest at night, perhaps in the way your mind drifts to years you rarely think about, perhaps in the sudden awareness of something or someone you haven't named in a long time. But what is this? A memory? A person? An emotion that never died? A dream that paused itself mid-sentence? Or a version of you waiting to be retrieved? Something that belonged to you was frozen in time, and right now, the ice is melting. This is why your spirit feels unsettled. This is why your intuition is louder. This is why your past feels so strangely alive. Because what was buried is resurfacing, not to haunt you, but to complete its purpose. The truth that slept for 20 years is rising because it is finally safe for you to see it. But what will it reveal? What will it ask of you? And what will it change once you recognize its face? The energy of December 2025, a cosmic unfreezing. As Uranus continues its retrograde motion through your sign, something rare happens. It shakes the deepest layers of your identity, the ones you built before you even understood who you were. This retrograde is not chaotic, not anymore. It is surgical. It is reaching into the exact place where your story bent instead of breaking, where your voice softened instead of rising, where your heart hid truths it wasn't allowed to speak. Jupiter expands this movement, stretching the truth until you cannot ignore it. And Venus, your ruling planet, illuminates the emotional terrain inside you like moonlight over a field of long-hidden footprints. Every sign points to the same revelation. You are being led back to the moment where your soul made a promise it couldn't keep. Not then, but now, Now you can. Yet here is the question you must ask yourself. Are you prepared to see what you avoided? Because the truth that awakens this month is not small. It carries weight. It carries consequence. It carries destiny. And destiny rarely arrives politely. The stirring of old shadows and new clarity. You may notice your dreams changing. They're not chaotic. They're coded. Faces appear but don't speak. Doors open but lead nowhere. Numbers repeat. Symbols flash. You awaken with a feeling you can't name, like you've been in conversation with a part of yourself you forgot existed. Have you asked why? Have you considered what your psyche is trying to tell you, or what your soul is trying to return to you? Because no dream is random this month. Every image is a message. Every sensation is a signal. Every silence carries instruction, and you are beginning to understand those messages, even if they frighten you. Why frighten? Because truth always shakes before it settles. You are not afraid of the past itself. You are afraid of what the past will demand once you acknowledge it. But this fear is not a warning. It is a sign of awakening. The people around you can feel it too. Have you noticed the subtle shifts in others? Some become distant. Some become curious. Some become strangely attentive. Some avoid eye contact. Some linger longer than they should. Why? Because your energy is changing. Something in your aura is brightening, sharpening, rising. People who once depended on your silence feel unsettled. People who once underestimated you sense power returning. People who tried to shape your story feel their influence fading. They may not understand consciously, but they feel the activation rippling through your presence. And you must ask yourself, who feels uncomfortable with your awakening? Who feels inspired by it? And who reveals their true nature as your truth rises? Because awakenings don't only reveal you, they reveal everyone around you. The inner door you must walk through. There is a moment coming, quiet but undeniable, when you will feel your inner landscape shift like tectonic plates settling into a new alignment. It may come through a sentence someone speaks carelessly, a flash of memory so vivid it steals your breath, a decision you realize you can no longer postpone, or an unexpected sign that feels too precise to deny. But when that moment comes, Taurus, everything inside you will make sense at once. The confusion, the weight, the restlessness, the dreams, the names resurfacing, the sensations you can't explain. All of it is leading you back to a truth you abandoned 20 years ago, not out of weakness, but out of necessity. Now the universe asks, are you willing to reclaim the version of yourself that never got to live? This is not about going backward. It is about retrieving the piece of your destiny that froze in time, waiting for the version of you strong enough to hold it. And that version is here now, you. The test before the unveiling. Every awakening brings a threshold moment, a test, subtle but profound. Yours will come in the shape of a choice that seems small, but carries the weight of 2 decades. You will feel it. You will recognize it. You will know intuitively, this is the moment. But what will you choose? Will you cling to the person you had to become to endure the last 20 years? Or will you become the person you were meant to be before the world interrupted your timeline? The universe cannot choose for you, but it will continue to whisper, to nudge, to unsettle, until you step into alignment with your original path. This is the corridor between who you've been and who you were always meant to become. Taurus, if part 2 placed you at the threshold, part 3 brings you into the room where destiny starts rearranging itself in front of your eyes. The air feels different here, thicker, heavier, vibrating with something that has not spoken your name in decades. Do you feel it? That subtle tension in your chest, the kind that rises before an emotional truth appears. That uneasy sense that something important is approaching, not from the world outside, but from a deeper, older part of your inner landscape. This is where the real activation begins. The energy shift you can't explain, yet can't ignore. There are moments when the universe stops being symbolic and becomes literal. December 2025 is one of those rare moments for you. Have you noticed small disruptions lately? Objects moving slightly out of place? Conversations that feel strangely aligned with thoughts you didn't share? Random memories that surface at the worst or most perfect moments? Nothing is random this month. Uranus, retrograde in your sign, is peeling away layers of identity you've worn like armor, and the December solstice is amplifying the signals. Your life is humming with an energy that feels half familiar, half foreign, as if two timelines, past and present, are touching for the first time in 20 years. But why is this truth rising now? What pulled it from the depths of silence into the light of this exact month? Because the version of you who stands here in December 2025 is finally strong enough to hold what the old you couldn't. This is why everything feels so magnified. Your senses are sharper, your intuition is louder, your emotions are deeper, the world feels closer. This is the activation frequency. Your soul is remembering what your mind tried to forget. When memory becomes a portal, think back. Has a specific year, event, or person been echoing in your mind recently? Not painfully, just insistently, like someone knocking at the door from the inside? Have you questioned why now? Why this memory? Why this moment? Because memory is not always recollection. Sometimes it is reactivation. A memory becomes a portal when the lesson inside it is ready to be lived again, but differently, with more wisdom, with more clarity, with more power. There is something you abandoned 20 years ago, a dream, a truth, a calling, a relationship, a version of yourself that never got to fully breathe, and now it rises not as nostalgia, but as destiny restored. Ask yourself, if you could speak to the person you were 20 years ago, what would you tell them? What would you take back? What would you finally admit? This is not hypothetical. Your past self is listening. That is what an awakening feels like. The shadows that move when you're not looking, Taurus. Something else is happening around you, subtle but powerful. People are reacting to you differently, some with curiosity, some with caution, some with admiration they'll never admit, and some with discomfort that reveals more about them than you ever asked to know. They sense your activation even before you do. Why does someone from your past suddenly appear in your thoughts? Why does another person pull away without explanation? Why does a third approach you with a softness they never showed before? Because your energy field is shifting, and every soul connected to your timeline feels the vibration. Whether consciously or not, people know when someone is reclaiming their power. They feel the pull, they feel the glow, they feel the tremor. And if someone in your life has been acting strangely lately, distant, emotional, reactive, or unexpectedly attentive, ask yourself, are they responding to who you are now or to the truth they sense awakening inside you? Because a 20-year truth does not rise in silence. Its vibration shakes every connection built on anything less than authenticity. The internal pressure that signals transformation. You might have noticed a strange emotional layering inside you these days, a heaviness that comes without context, a sudden clarity that arrives without effort, a wave of nostalgia that feels like it belongs to two timelines at once, a tension, not painful but expectant, like your spirit is inhaling before a revelation. This is exactly how the soul behaves when truth is preparing to emerge. But here is the question you must not avoid. Are you resisting the revelation or surrendering to it? Because resistance feels like tiredness for no reason, irritability, longing for solitude, a sense that something is off, impatience with old routines. Surrender feels like unusual bursts of clarity, emotional release, sudden insights, spontaneous decisions, a quiet knowing. Which one are you experiencing? Because whichever path you choose, resistance or surrender, leads to the same truth, but the journey feels very different. The piece of your story that reveals itself in shadow and light. Think of the last 20 years of your life, not the events, the emotional architecture beneath them. Where did you settle? Where did you shrink? Where did you trade truth for stability? Where did you silence something sacred just to keep the peace? Where did your heart stop speaking because the world around you wasn't listening? This is not about regret. This is about recognition. Because the truth that awakens now is not a punishment. It is a correction, a realignment of the path that was meant to be yours all along. But it requires one thing from you: honesty. Not the surface kind, the deep kind, the kind that makes your heartbeat change rhythm. Are you ready to admit what you wanted, what you still want, what you never got to become, what you still long for in the quiet hours of the night? These questions hold the key to the 20-year truth. And that truth holds the key to the next cycle of your life, the approaching moment of recognition. There is an event approaching, not necessarily dramatic, but undeniably meaningful, where everything begins to click. It might be a phrase someone says, a message that appears unexpectedly, a memory that hits with unusual clarity, a confrontation with a feeling you thought healed, a moment of solitude where your soul speaks louder than your fear, a symbol, a date, a name, a realization. And in that moment, the truth will not arrive as a whisper. It will arrive as recognition, a sense of, I knew this, I always knew this. Because the awakening is not about discovering something new, it is about remembering something ancient. Your soul is retrieving what your mind had to abandon. The 20-year truth is not coming to break you, it is coming to complete you. The quiet before the revelation. As part 3 closes, you may feel unsettled, emotional, or strangely calm. You may sense a question rising inside you, one that feels too important to ignore. What if the life I meant to live is the one I left behind? Sit with that question. Do not rush it. Do not fear it. Do not shrink from it. Taurus. If in part 3 the ground beneath you trembled, in part 4 the walls around you begin to breathe. This is the part of the journey where the atmosphere thickens, where everything familiar feels slightly distorted, as if reality itself is adjusting to make space for what is coming. Do you feel it now? That subtle pressure behind your heart? The sense that something is watching your steps, not with threat but with purpose. The strange awareness that the universe is standing closer than it has in years. It's not your imagination. A 20-year truth is rising through the cracks of your timeline, and nothing in your environment can remain untouched by it. The shadow of something unfinished. There is an energy following you right now, not dark, not heavy, but ancient. It moves like a whisper behind your ribs, like a presence walking one step behind your shadow. It is not a person. It is not a memory. It is a fragment of your destiny, a fragment that has been orbiting you for 20 years, waiting for the exact combination of courage, clarity, and cosmic alignment to return. Why now? Why December 2025? Why does this month feel like a door long sealed is finally beginning to open? Because the universe does not reveal deep truth during seasons of survival. It reveals truth during seasons of readiness. And Taurus, you are finally ready. Ask yourself with brutal honesty, what were you forced to leave behind 20 years ago that your soul never stopped wanting? You might not have the full answer yet, but you feel the question trembling inside you. Unexplained emotions, strange signals, and energetic echoes. You may have noticed moments lately where emotion hits you without context. A sudden heaviness, a sudden ache, a sudden longing, a sudden spark of hope you don't understand. These aren't mood swings, they are echoes. Echoes of a timeline that never had the chance to play out. You are feeling 2 decades at once, the you who lived and the you who never got to live. This overlap creates emotional turbulence, not to confuse you, but to awaken what you buried to survive. But here is the question: what did you sacrifice for stability? What dream, what truth, what love, what voice, what version of yourself? And more importantly, why is that sacrifice rising from the depths now? Because some truths don't die just because you silence them. Some truths wait. They wait until you can hold them without breaking. The unseen shift in your relationships. Look at the people around you. Really look. Who suddenly avoids your gaze? Who watches you with quiet curiosity? Who speaks to you differently, softer or sharper? Who seems triggered by your silence? Who seems magnetized by your presence? Who returns after years of distance? Who retreats just as something in you rises? These shifts are not coincidences. They are reactions to your activation. People can feel when a truth is awakening inside someone, even if they don't understand what that truth is. And right now, you are radiating a frequency that disrupts inauthentic dynamics. Have you noticed how certain relationships feel suddenly heavier? Or how others feel strangely lighter? How some people's voices irritate your soul while others comfort you in ways they never did before. This is because your energy is recalibrating to the truth you left behind 20 years ago, and the people who cannot match this frequency will instinctively distance themselves. Not because you changed, but because your authenticity is returning. Ask yourself, who do you feel yourself withdrawing from without guilt? Who do you feel yourself drawn to without explanation? Who feels like part of your future? Who feels like a chapter that is closing? These answers matter more than you realize. Reality is rearranging itself around you. Have you experienced any of these lately? A sudden message that feels like a sign? A name repeating in your mind, unexplained? Déjà vu that feels too specific to ignore? A dream so vivid it stays with you all day? A memory arriving with new emotional weight? A conversation that feels like a key? A symbol or number following you everywhere? This is not coincidence. This is guidance. Your soul is being positioned. Your timeline is being corrected. Your next step is being illuminated. But here is the challenging part. The truth that slept for 20 years will not emerge politely. It will push. It will pull. It will surface in ways that force you to confront the version of yourself you left behind. And Taurus, you must ask this now. What if the life you want next requires you to reclaim the part of yourself you abandoned? The internal reckoning you can no longer avoid. Something inside you is awakening with a strength you did not expect. You feel it in the way your boundaries shift. You feel it in the way your voice sharpens or softens. You feel it in the way your intuition grows louder than fear. A reckoning is unfolding, not with others, with yourself. And this leads to the hardest question of part 4. What did you pretend not to know 20 years ago that you can no longer deny today? Sit with that. It is the key. It is the axis. It is the doorway to everything that follows. This truth has lived under your skin for decades. You didn't forget it. You protected it. You didn't lose it. You buried it so deep that even your heart learned to walk around it. But it never stopped calling. And now, finally, you hear it again. The moment of emotional flashback. Before the final revelation comes, something else will happen. Something subtle, but unmistakable. A flashback, not to a traumatic moment, to a turning point. A moment where your path split into two, the life you lived and the life you were destined for. This flashback might arrive through a scent, a sound, a date, a name, a sentence, a photograph, a sudden memory with emotional weight, a coincidence too precise to ignore, and when it arrives, you will feel your breath catch, not out of fear, out of recognition of the truth that slept for 20 years. This flashback is not your past haunting you. It is your past calling you home, because that moment, that exact moment, holds the seed of the destiny you're meant to reclaim. You are nearing the nexus point. Every awakening has a nexus, the center where truth and destiny meet. Part 4 places you at the edge of that nexus. You are not meant to understand everything yet. You are only meant to feel the pull, because something is approaching, a revelation, a message, a shift, a realization. Something that will not only expose the truth that slept for 20 years, but give you the power to rewrite the years ahead. As part 4 closes, you should feel this question forming inside you, almost trembling. What if the truth I've been afraid to face is the truth that will finally set my life free? Hold that question. Breathe with it. Do not rush it. Taurus, you've walked through 4 corridors already, each one darker, deeper, closer to the center of the truth that has been circling you for 2 decades. But part 5 is different. This is not a corridor. This is a threshold. And once you cross it, nothing inside you will remain the same. Do you feel the stillness? How the air around you has shifted into a kind of spiritual silence, not empty, but charged? Do you sense an invisible presence standing just behind your shoulder, waiting for you to finally turn around and see what has always been there? This is the final activation. This is the moment your past breathes through your present. This is where the truth opens its eyes. The moment your soul has been preparing for. For 20 years, a part of you has been asleep, not dead, not lost, but suspended, held in stasis, protected, stored in a chamber of your soul because you weren't ready to carry the weight of it. But December 2025 has awakened that chamber. You've felt it in your dreams. You've sensed it in your chest. You've seen it in the mirrors of strangers' eyes. You've heard it in the echo of old memories beating against your ribs. And now the final layer rises. Ask yourself, why have you been remembering things you didn't plan to remember? Why is a 20-year-old emotion feeling newly alive? Why does it feel like something is trying to speak through you? Because the timeline you left behind is catching up with you. What was frozen is thawing. What was silenced is returning. What was abandoned is waking up. And this time, Taurus, you are no longer the version of yourself who had to let it go. The real revelation is not about a person. It's about you. Many signs experience awakenings through relationships, losses, or external events. But yours is different. Yours is internal, deeply internal, because the truth that slept for 20 years is not another soul. It's you. It is the version of yourself you were forced to bury to survive, the version of yourself who dreamed without fear, who trusted their own voice, who moved through the world with innocence and clarity before life carved caution into your bones. For 20 years you have carried the consequences of that burial, self-doubt that wasn't yours, guilt you never deserved, loyalty that drained you, silence that protected others but suffocated your truth, responsibility that was placed on your shoulders too young. Fear disguised as practicality, destiny postponed because the world wasn't ready for your strength. And now that version of you rises again, not as a memory, but as a force. This is why you feel different. This is why others look at you differently. This is why the air around you feels charged. You are not becoming someone new. You are becoming someone original, the one you were always meant to be. The return of the forgotten self. Think carefully. What part of yourself disappeared 20 years ago? Was it your courage, your innocence, your voice, your intuition, your boldness, your capacity to trust, your ability to love fully, your creative or spiritual gifts, your belief in your own destiny? Something specific, something precise went quiet. You didn't erase it. You hid it so deeply that you convinced yourself it never existed. But the universe didn't forget. And now, that part of you stands in front of you like a reflection inside a mirror, fogged by time. You may feel emotional as you read this. That's because your soul recognizes the truth long before your thoughts understand it. Ask yourself, what did I lose 20 years ago that I've been trying unconsciously to reclaim ever since? Because the revelation is not a single event. It's a remembering. And remembering is the purest form of awakening. The moment of alignment. There is a point in every awakening where past and present collide, not violently, but unmistakably. A moment where everything that felt confusing suddenly makes sense. This moment is approaching you now. It may come through a word, a dream, a name, a sudden clarity, an emotional release, an unexpected message, a memory that returns with new meaning, a realization that feels like déjà vu, a truth that slips out of your own mouth before you can stop it. And when it comes, it will hit you with the soft force of recognition, not shock. Recognition is deeper than revelation. It is the moment the soul whispers, "I've been waiting for you." You will feel something inside you click. Like two timelines merging into one, you will feel older and younger at the same time, as if 20 years of distance collapse into a single breath. You will feel something sacred rise through your chest, like a tide. And you will know the truth wasn't outside you, it was inside you, sleeping, waiting to return when you were finally strong enough to hold it. The consequence of awakening. When a 20-year truth rises, it changes the architecture of your life. You will begin to see what no longer fits, who no longer speaks your language, what paths no longer match your frequency, what responsibilities you never should have carried, what dreams are still alive, what desires were never wrong, what boundaries are long overdue, what opportunities are returning, what parts of you are being reborn. But the most profound consequence is this: you become whole again, not perfect, not flawless, not untouched, whole. Because the piece missing all these years wasn't a relationship, a material goal, or an external factor. It was a version of you that was waiting to come back. The question you must answer before the portal closes. Every spiritual activation asks for one thing in return: choice. And you must ask yourself now, with complete sincerity, will I allow the version of myself that returns to shape the life I build next? Or will you bury it again under duty, fear, or doubt? You cannot avoid the awakening anymore. The truth has already risen, but you can decide what you do with it. Ask yourself, am I willing to reclaim my original path? Am I willing to honor the part of me I hid for 20 years? Am I willing to live now with the courage I didn't have then, because the universe is not returning this truth to wound you, it is returning it to free you. The completion of the prophecy. As part 5 closes, imagine yourself standing in front of a door you once walked away from. The door hasn't aged, only you have. You reach for the handle. The air holds its breath. And the truth that slept for 20 years whispers from the other side. It's time. Time to reclaim what was lost. Time to remember who you were. Time to rise into who you are becoming. And now, Taurus, the decree must be spoken. If this message awakens something ancient in your spirit, anchor this activation by writing, "I reclaim the part of me that returns now." Write it with intention. Write it as a declaration to the universe. Write it as the first breath of your new chapter. And if this prophecy resonated with you, leave your hype on this video. Like, comment, share, and if your heart feels called, become a member of the channel. Each hype you send strengthens this light, expands this sanctuary, and brings this frequency to other Taurus souls who are waking up now.